As a dental practice owner, we all know that hiring good talent is hard. Keeping good talent is even harder. Learn from my mistakes. In this video, I'm going to tell you exactly how to hire and keep world-class talent and how to spot the ones that are going to continue to make your life miserable. When I became a dental practice owner, I knew that managing people was going to be hard. I didn't realize that just finding people to come and work for me in the first place was going to be so difficult. If you ask almost any dentist, the main headache or issue they're dealing with is managing their staff. When it came time for me to start hiring in my practices, and I continue to hire and build the team that's going to ideally meet my vision, I run into issues that there's lack of talented workers in the workplace, issues of pay and benefits, and how to keep them engaged. Because if it's an A player that wants to continue to grow, how do you continue to feed that so that they feel like this is the best place for them to work? In this video, I'm going to lay out 5 key strategies that I've implemented to find world-class talent and to keep them on my team and engaging and helping me grow my practice without me having to burn out and do everything myself. The first key strategy to hiring and keeping world-class talent is that you have to identify what your core values and mission are. This may seem like business 101, but it's so foundational and it has to be taken care of on the forefront. For me in my practice, it was really important that whoever was coming on, especially since we were a scratch start, wanted to be a part of something that was growing. And our core values are actually based on the acronym GROW. First and foremost, you have to have a growth mindset. You have to be constantly willing to learn. You have to be okay with being uncomfortable at times. You have to want to get better every single day. Second one is respect. We respect everyone. You respect the doctor, you respect your coworkers, you respect the patients. If you don't have a high level of respect for what you do and who you work with, it's not going to work out for us. The third one is open communication. Constantly talking to people, constantly voicing, this is my concern. Hey, I really appreciate how you did that. Looking for ways to instruct and encourage your teammates and the doctor and the patients is huge. And fourth and foremost is warmth. You have to be able to be warm. We want people to feel like this isn't a dentist's office they have to be scared of. This is a place where you're going to be welcomed. We're going to have a close relationship with you. And by being warm to each other and by being warm to our patients, we sum up our core values, and people love to get behind these. Define your core values and use that to hire and fire and keep great talent. The second key strategy is that you have to recognize what people that are high performing actually want. What does top talent really value? Top talent, and you look at even the research of it, and this is just also in my experience, doesn't care as much as you think about pay and benefits, and they really care a lot about growth opportunities and appreciation and being valued. By giving top-tier talent the opportunity to grow, you will keep them engaged and you will keep them wanting to do more and more in your office. By appreciating them, telling them how much that you value the things that they bring to your team, they will also want to be engaged. And then little small things like getting them something nice for their birthday, buying the team coffee when they hit a certain goal, giving them opportunities to hit goals and be rewarded for them. People love feeling appreciated and valued when they provide great value to you in your office. The third strategy is to think outside the box and hire more for attitude and less for previous skill or experience. In my dental office, we have hired almost over half of our staff that haven't even worked in a dental office before because they had the right attitude, they had the right core values, and things that we could not teach, they already had in spades. There's so much that we do in a dental office that you could teach someone who's highly capable if you already have the right attitude in place. This means that your job market and the pool of applicants expands immensely, and you can find people that have the attitude and people skills that you can't teach, and you can teach them how to do the dental skills that you need in your office. Don't limit yourself to people with prior experience. Train people up on your vision and your core values and teach them the basic skills they need to get started, and you'll be amazed on how they flourish. Let me tell you 2 stories of hiring employees in my office that might open your mind to hiring outside of the dental pool of people who have had prior dental experience. The first one was we hired someone who had prior dental experience. They came into our office. They seemed like they would fit in well. But we were constantly having to have this uphill battle on, oh, your office that you used to work for might have done it this way, but this is how we would like to do it, or this is how we like to communicate to that patient. One specific example was really around the conversation about dental insurance. We were much on the path that we wanted to become independent of insurance companies, but every single conversation this employee had with a patient was about utilizing and doing only what insurance covers for this year. We constantly had to have conversations about it to the point where we just came to a stalemate where we just couldn't break through, and I had to let this employee go. This was difficult and costly. On the flip side, we hired an employee who had no prior dental experience, but they had experience in hospitality and service industry. They came on, they were immediately warm and bubbly and connected well with the patients, and we were able to teach them the conversations that we wanted to have around recommended treatment and the topic of dental insurance, to the point where in a couple short weeks, they were perfectly implementing the exact communication that we wanted to have with patients while bringing a wonderful attitude and a wonderful connection of service and hospitality that provided value to our patients that made them want to stick with us long term. And this employee ended up scaling up into our business to become one of our top leaders. The fourth key strategy is, as an employer, don't be cheap. People that are top performers are going to be highly valuable. If you think I can't afford to pay 5% above market value for this employee, then you have to realize the return on investment that you are forsaking. What I've found is that if I can find world-class talent and pay them 5 to 10% more, I'm not going to get 5 to 10% return on investment. I'm going to get 100 to 200% return on investment. The amount of value that they are going to bring, the amount of stress they're going to reduce in your life is so significant that by paying a little bit above market for top-tier talent, you're going to find that your applicant pool explodes. Don't be cheap as an employer. Pay for the talent that you deserve. In a dental office, one of the most key employees that seem impossible to find is dental hygienists. So as a new practice owner that was growing at a quick rate, I had no dental hygienist, and I was seemingly striking out and being able to find one, let alone actually hire one onto my practice. What I implemented was the strategy of paying above market. When I listed an ad that was above market for pay, what I found was I got a much higher stream of candidates that were coming in. Now, not every candidate was one that I wanted to hire, but the first 2 hygienists that I hired at my office, I paid above market what most offices would pay. But when I hired them, we were about 5 months into being open. Our new patient flow, our new patient growth, and our revenue seemingly doubled in a month. Because they provided such great value, the fact that I was paying them 5 to 10% above market value was a no-brainer. And by paying above market, you are going to get a much higher return on your investment, just like I did with my dental hygienists. My fifth and final strategy has been one of the most key strategies that I've implemented to keep the team members that I have that are all just amazing. And that is implementing goals, perks, and growth opportunities and little things that separate me from the average dental office to keep them engaged. Let me tell you about a few specific examples of what we do. For every 10 5-star Google reviews that my staff gets patients to leave by providing excellent service, I buy the whole team coffee. They love it. They look forward to it. Every time they get their coffee, they're overjoyed. We do little things like paid birthdays, paid holidays, little bits of extra pay that just really start to add up over time that make them feel like, oh, I just double dipped. I worked on my birthday and I got paid double. They love that stuff. And then being able to do things like just take them to a CE event. You may think, oh, that's costly. I'm going to have to take them to this event and pay for their travel, pay for their food, pay for the event that they're going to. But by giving them an opportunity to learn and hear from someone outside of yourself, they're going to bring that back to your office and implement new strategies and new skills that they just would not have heard from you. And by making them feel valued, like I'm willing to pay for you to go and gain more skills, they are going to pay you back in return by providing even greater value to your office. As a dental practice owner, hiring and keeping good talent doesn't have to be this knockdown, drag-out, constant struggle. It can be a joy. Imagine coming to work every day, loving the people you work alongside, and knowing that they are going above and beyond to help you and your practice grow. By investing in your team, building loyalty, providing perks and benefits that are outside of the norm, you are going to hire and keep great talent, and your practice is going to grow immensely. If you watched to the end and you got value out of this video, stay tuned. We have a whole channel with videos coming out every week with topics to talk about things just like this.